Good evening.
Okay. Can you just give me a brief about yourself, your experience at Insta?
Yeah, currently I'm working on the Synchrony Financial. It's a banking-based organization, and we are working on I'm working as a backend developer here. I have total 6.2 years of experience, and the relevant will be the 5.5. And current technology stack which we are using is like the Spring Boot, Java, Hibernate, Kafka, PCF, API Gateway, MySQL, Oracle, and Jenkins, Bitbucket, Newman, etc. These are the tech stack which we have been using in our um Splunk, Zira, and Conflex as well. And these are the tools actually which we are using as part of the project. Coming to the project is like uh, I have developed around 12 services in the current project. Like these are the microservices, and the purpose of these services is like I'll say a few of them. These basically deals with the finance side. So for financing a credit card, so here we will be having the option called quick screen process and the retail card apply. So the purpose of the quick screen process is like whenever a particular person come and apply for a credit card, if it gets declined, what it does is like a check mark which will be registered at the credit bureau end on his name, because of which his credit score will be impacted. So so to avoid all these situations, we have brought up a service called quick screen process. So it basically takes few details of the customer, and whenever we use this quick screen process, it will tell him that how much credit he can get it. So if he's sufficient with the credit whatever has been getting, so he can come and apply on the retail card apply, and then once it has been successful, there will be a time gap of 30 days to dispatch the physical card to his location. Meanwhile, the account details will be shared through his email. So once this is done and the person is willing to do some shopping and all, so he want to pay his bills, so he can make use of another service called temporary shopping pass. So that will be valid for 30 days. So meanwhile, the user can do his shopping using this service.
I believe currently you're working on Java 8, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Which features have you used?
I have used the functional interfaces, lambda, streams, method references, optional object. One second.
Okay, I'm getting like where have been Java Stream APIs introduced? Like already we had collection APIs, right? So
The
what are the advantages in that?
See, the collection object is for the storage of some data into that, and we will be using the iterators or the for loops to iterate that data and retrieve from that collection. But in case of the streams, that is it has the two kinds of options. Like there are the intermediate operations and the terminal operations here. So which in case the collections you cannot perform that, you need to iterate them, and we need to basically define your conditions. If you want to perform multiple conditions, we need to separately define all those things instead of defining it as part of the pipeline. Here in case of the streams, what we can do is like we can just put that data, we can use the stream API here, and we can pass that data into that pipeline, and we can use the operations provided by the streams like filter to perform some kind of operations, or else come mapping, or else once we done with these intermediate operations, we can use the for each we can use the collect method here to collect the data and give it back. These kind of operations we can perform on fly even without using the external
Name Can you name
conditions.
one or two intermediate and terminal operations?
Yeah, intermediate and the terminal operations are like intermediate means it will return you the stream API itself. Means whenever you do some operation, and it will return you the same stream as an output. When comes to the terminal operator, whatever the response which you are expecting, means like whether it could be a list, or it could be a map, or else some kind of data as a string or somewhat. So this could be the terminal operations.
What is the difference between a predicate and a function?
I did not get you.
What is the difference between predicate and function?
Predicate and the function is like predicate is for to perform the some kind of testing, means like it internally uses the test method, means like you to give you the result. Here in the filter you will be using the predicate itself. You will be pass it has internally uses the predicate and perform the activity which internally uses the test and give you the boolean result out of it. Whereas the function is like in a function we will be having the apply method which gives you the, it takes one input and provides you the other as an output.
What are default methods?
Default methods are the methods which is present in the interfaces, like if there is an existing classes which has been implementing this interface, and if you want to specify there is some other new class which we want to make use of these default methods, so we need not to implement that in the all the classes. Just we need to define the default method in that particular interface, and we can make use of it in the newly added class.
So, what is a consumer and supplier joint?
In
Consumer and supplier
cons
function interface.
consumer and the supplier is like consume, the word itself is says that you are taking some kind of data, means like one is to give the data and the other is to take the data.
Okay. Can you tell me how HashMap works internally in Java?
Yeah. Whenever we put something into the hash map, what it initially does is like it will generate an hash code for that particular key value what you are trying to put into the hash code. And once that hash code got generated, then it uses the hashing algorithm here and will pass the table length for that particular hash function, and it will calculate you the index to which location this whatever the data need to be persisted, means like bucket location, it gives you the bucket location. In that bucket location this data will be get stored. So in case of retrieval, what it does is like it makes use of the same process, but in case of retrieval it checks for the first the hash code whether the both the hash codes are equal or not, and then once if the both the hash codes are equal, then it goes for checking of both the keys. If both the hash codes are equal, then it goes to the same bucket location and it will fetch the data from that based on the key.
What is the difference between a hash table and concurrent HashMap?
Hash table is like which is a synchronized collection, whereas the other one which you asked is a concurrent hash map, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, in case of the hash table, what it does is like the complete table will be blocked. Means like whenever you are trying to, there are two threads are trying to perform its activity on this hash table. What it does is like when one thread is performing its activity, the other thread will be completely blocked until unless it completes its activity. But in case of the concurrent hash map, what it does is like it will block only that particular portion which is trying to perform, one thread is trying to perform its activity, which remaining all the threads will be non-blocking, and they can access and perform its operations.
Mhm. What is the like? Can you tell me about the exception hierarchy?
Means like from the throwable you are asking, from throwable to
Yeah.
exception, and
Mhm.
so
Right.
here the hierarchy is like first the throwable class, means like uh, first from the throwable we will be having the exceptions. There are two types of exceptions, like checked and unchecked exceptions. So checked exceptions are the compile time exceptions which we get it during the compilation, and the runtime exceptions are like uh, during the execution of the program we get this errors, means like array index out of bound exception, null pointer exceptions. These are the runtime exceptions which we get during the runtime of our program.
How does a garbage collection prevent a Java application from going out of memory?
The garbage collection, it has three kinds of memories, like old generation, young generation, old generation, and perm gen. Uh, here initially means like if it performs the full GC, then it will perform all this like the permanent generation, young and old generation. It moves the data from one into the other, means like whatever the unreferenced variables which are present, or else unreferenced variables as well as which has been not used from the long time. So it will collect all those data and it will move it into the old generation, and